Welcome Dash fam, I'm Daddy Dasher, aka the most platinum influencer alive. We'll talk about it. I still hold the record for the most profits earned in a week. Someone might have cleared more revenue, maybe, but profit-wise, I've had that on lock since 2022. I also still hold the record for the dankest DoorDash tips video ever dropped on the World Wide Web. In fact, the tips I dropped were so dank that DoorDash had to patch them by rolling out a brand new program, the Platinum, Gold, and Silver program. And it's garbage. It was garbage when they introduced it, and it's still garbage currently. So I'm gonna give you my updated tips on how to make the most, do the best you can do with this new Platinum, Gold, and Silver program. Plus I'm gonna share some tips on how to earn some shekels outside of DoorDash. What I've been doing for the past while. It's completely replaced the best Dasher alive's record holding DoorDash income. So my first tip, which is the most helpful for making the most profit possible from DoorDash, is you need to eliminate your costs. Car payments, insurance payments, registration payments, gas payments, ticket payments, traffic tickets, and then also your maintenance and your repairs from all the wear and tear. Just go watch my videos and you'll see I've done thousands and thousands of deliveries on an e-bike, and that's why I say I hold the record for the most profits earned in a week from DoorDash, is because I made almost $2,000 and I didn't spend any of that on car costs. No gas, no insurance, no registration. I did it all on an e-bike. And that there's a little bit of wear and tear that occurs on an e-bike, but we're talking when the tires wear down, which takes a very long time to replace them, $70 for both tires. That's way less than one tire on a car, and you gotta get 4 of those. If you can pull it off on an e-bike or an e-scooter, e-scooters are also totally doable. That is by far the way to go. Now you're gonna wanna get one that can go about 25 to 30 miles per hour. I've found that to be the sweet spot, because you'd be surprised, oftentimes you can still move faster than cars because you can just maneuver and get through lights and use crosswalks and all that a lot easier. You'd be surprised. The next issue is, well, what about the range? My battery is gonna run out. So what you need to do is you need to upgrade to a battery that has longer range, or you need to have multiple batteries. And that's gonna be your main cost for an electric scooter and electric bike, is you do need to extend that range somehow than probably what you're getting stock. But compared to car costs, compared just to gas costs, it's nothing. The next best after that is a moped or a motorcycle. You're still going to carry all those other costs, the same costs as a car. They're just gonna be a lot less expensive for a moped or a motorcycle. Next best after that is a hybrid vehicle. Electric vehicles very rarely are gonna save you or make you more money doing DoorDash. Really the only scenario is like you got a real good deal on that car and you're able to charge it for super cheap at home. But even then, still maybe a little bit tough. But a hybrid vehicle is definitely going to give you more miles per gallon. I've tested that in several different hybrid vehicles, and I've compared that to electric vehicles. Electric vehicles actually came out to be quite a bit more expensive than I anticipated, and hybrids really helped save some money versus just a regular gas car or an electric car. And then also inside of the DoorDash app, it asks you to select which vehicle type you're using. You can place whatever you want there. You can input whatever you want there, and you can go out on a completely different vehicle to complete deliveries. So a decent way to go is, say it's a car in the app. If you've got an e-bike or an e-scooter that can handle a little bit of range, maybe you got to decline some of the much longer range ones. But if you got an e-bike or an e-scooter that can do it, then throw car in there and you'll get the regular car offers, and you're just doing it on an e-bike and saving all those costs. The second thing, this is tip number 2 that you need to eliminate: buying food while you're dashing. We all know it, food costs have gone up and up and up. So bring your own food, cook your own food at home. Don't be buying while you're out dashing, because dude, a burrito nowadays is like $14. And that could be 3 deliveries, you gotta not do that, because that's cutting into your earnings, your profits for sure. Next thing we're gonna eliminate, tip number 3, you gotta eliminate your dash time. And you really should only be working for DoorDash when it's active time. Some people have watched my previous videos and they're like, oh, you made the most in a week, but you put in 100 hours. I didn't put in 100 hours. It shows my dash time as 100 hours, but my actual active time, my working time, was about half that, around 50 hours, and was actually that way because what I figured is, so I'm on an e-bike already, and then on top of that, when I'm not getting orders, I'm not sitting in a parking lot, nothing like that, straight home, working on something else, and I'm gonna share a little bit more about that. But being able to completely eliminate your downtime, your dash time, your wasted time just sitting around waiting for offers, find a way to eliminate that, and not just eliminate it, but fill it with something else that can make you money. But if you're already positioned close enough to restaurants where you can just chill at home, great option, and find something to do at home while you're waiting for the next offer. And another option, and this is again not gonna work for everybody, but for some of you it will. I've done this and I've done it successfully, where you rent an office space in a location that has restaurants surrounding it. So in your downtime, you just go to your office space and you're able to field offers from there, but you're also able to work on something else that'll help you make more money. And yes, offices can be expensive, but sometimes there's just like open membership. So you get access to the building and like open space tables, and it's not actually your own closed off office. And those come in a lot cheaper than a full-blown office to yourself, and also can come with a little bit of food and some drink and things like that, which is also helping you save on costs. Or even a gym membership. If you could get a really cheap gym membership, sometimes gyms will have even a little section where you can sit and chill and work on a computer or something like that. Great potential option. Tip number 4, another thing that we need to eliminate, speeding and reckless driving. A crash is gonna just destroy your earnings. Tickets and stuff like that can also really do some damage in your earnings. So, and also by speeding and being reckless and just trying to move as fast as possible, it's really not gonna help you make more money doing DoorDash. Tip number 5, when you're first getting started, take 100 orders as fast as possible. Again, like I just said, don't have to rush and speed, but like if it takes 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, just going nonstop, maybe a week, just however much you can, however fast you can, get through 100 orders and get through those 100 orders doing earn per offer. And just try your best not to make any mistakes. You know, take your time if you need to. But those first 100, the reason I say this is because you're going to learn so much so fast by just taking 100 as quickly as possible. You'll really feel like you've gotten the hang of it, and you'll know better things to do by the end of it. Get all your stats up, get into the Platinum program. I'm gonna talk about that in just a second, and just show DoorDash that you're legit. Tip number 7 is to get a good insulated bag. I'll link the one that I use in the description of this video. You can also watch my bag tour video that I put out. That's been a pretty good video for people. I've got a bag system that works very well on a bike and in a car, but that really is gonna be super handy for keeping hot food hot, cold food cold, and just having a place to always store the food. Schedule dashes, especially if you're not a Platinum dasher, then really take advantage of scheduling as far out in advance as possible. And I'll give you one little tip here. Sometimes when you have it set to car, it'll show that there's no available slots for scheduling. But then what you can do is switch it to bike or even e-bike, and sometimes you'll see that now there's a lot of slots that have opened up, and you can just take advantage of switching it to bike, scheduling all those slots, and you can still go out in a car if you want to. Tip number 9, and then we're gonna talk about this Platinum, Gold, and Silver. Tip number 9 is about location, and yes, a good area absolutely matters. But I've had a lot of people have thought I've been in like really, really high population areas, and the main city that I dashed in is a 70K population. With that said, it is a very active area. It's not just like completely rural, no restaurants. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of people passing through. And actually I found that in like the real big cities, it can actually be more difficult to like really earn, and you can get like kind of spread out, like it can kind of take you to places you don't want to go and stuff like that. So I've actually preferred a smaller city as long as there's some restaurants and activity, DoorDash activity that's occurring. And I've even talked to some of you, and you've said that even in small rural cities, even smaller than 70K, 20K, 30K, have still seen success. It really just depends. Like it can vary a lot, but a good area can definitely make a difference. And maybe it's even worth trying out some areas that are surrounding you that's not the one you're actually sitting in, just to see. But also there is a huge benefit to really, really knowing your area and your city really well, especially just for navigating and maneuvering around. It just makes the whole experience a lot more pleasant and nicer than if you don't know where you're going and you constantly have to be, you know, checking your maps and everything like that. All right, tip number 10, let's talk about this platinum, gold, and silver program, which is a garbage program. DoorDash was definitely better before they came out with this program, which is why they came out with this program, because some best dasher alive dropped some mega tips. People were able to start beating the algorithm, so to speak. They patched that, and now there's this program where there's like 1,000 different ways where they just hide things and switch things and change things and trick you, basically, is all that is happening now. With that said, I'll make this really, really simple. Just be platinum. You can still do like some gold, and like just be platinum though. Like, it's just easier, better if you're platinum. Is platinum still full of like a bunch of tricks and they're pulling stuff over on you? Yeah, but just better to be platinum. I've been a platinum dasher in this new program. I've tested it without being platinum. It's just better to be platinum. And I'll explain in a little bit why the best dasher alive is also the most platinum influencer alive. And that leads me into tip number 11, which is, and I've talked about it a little bit, but you need to be building something better. You need to be finding better ways to make money on DoorDash. When I first jumped on these YouTube videos and I dropped my dankest tips ever, those, like, for real, those were really, really good tips, and they really worked. And then they just changed stuff, and now it's just kind of been garbage. And it's not fully DoorDash's fault. I mean, people just are a lot tighter on money now, and all the prices have gone up. DoorDash charges a bunch more fees, and people have less money and are less willing to spend and are more willing to cook at home and save on food. And so it's just this, all these things are coming together where it's like, it's not as good as it used to be. And so gotta be working on something else. That's what I've been doing, and I'm gonna share it with you. And that's why I'm the most platinum influencer alive. Tip number 12, DoorDash is, dude, it's just silly, the games that DoorDash, the algorithm, the app plays. But DoorDash now also asks you to take like all these extra pictures and check the orders and like all these additional extra asks. Like, just keep this real, real simple. Your job as a dasher, pick up the food from the restaurant and go drop it off on someone's doorstep. It's that simple. All the other extra stuff that DoorDash is trying to get you to do, if you can ignore it, just ignore it and pretend like it's not there, and don't look at it as something that you have to do, because you don't. Your job's to pick up the order and make sure it gets delivered. So just keep it that simple, and everything else that you can ignore and not participate in, even when DoorDash in the app is trying to tell you like it's really important or whatever, just, I promise you, ignore as much of what they try and tell you as possible. Tip number 13 is to follow your customers' delivery instructions. This one's super, super important. The restaurant delivery instructions are oftentimes gonna be outdated. Sometimes they're correct, but for the most part, that's a thing that you can just ignore, the restaurant instructions. But the customer's instructions, you always need to get those super correct. Tip number 14, this isn't absolutely necessary, but it definitely can be helpful if you're chill and have like a good relationship with the restaurants that you're going to, because they start to recognize you. If you walk in and you've had like a good relationship, good vibes with them, they're much more likely to get your food to you faster. You don't really have to go out of your way to develop like a relationship with them, but just simple stuff like being cordial, not being like angry or annoyed with them, and just kind of like saying hi and saying thank you. Just simple, good manners, basically. Next tip, this is kind of like a semi-tip, I guess. This used to be way more possible in the past, but now when you're trying to keep your stats up to be a platinum dasher, it's more difficult because you can't just reject everything. But the tip is to avoid restaurants that make you wait a long time. If you dash, and this is another reason why I say get through 100 orders as fast as possible. One of the reasons is because you'll learn which restaurants tend to make you wait a lot longer than others. And if you can't avoid those, then definitely avoid those. Next tip, this one really irks me. Like, this one's just really, really like, come on, man. Like, don't be trying to pass off your responsibilities onto me as the dasher. Don't fill up drinks when they ask you to fill up drinks, like that type of stuff, or like fill up condiment cups or whatever. Like, you don't have a food handler's permit as a dasher. This is what I tell them, and this works. Like, this is actually how it should go down. Dashers don't have food handler's permits, so you should not be handling any open container, and that includes a cup. That's why all the containers are supposed to come closed, sealed up, in a bag, that sort of a thing. If they hand you an open cup and say, go fill this up, like, you don't have a food handler's permit, so you shouldn't be handling an open container. And if you just take a second to respectfully tell them that, I've never had them be like, no, you have to go do it. It's like, okay, you kind of got me there. I'm gonna do my job then and go fill up this cup now. Next tip, this one's slightly controversial, but I stick to this. For years now, I've stuck to this. Don't bother your customers. Most of them, yes, a small percentage will maybe appreciate it, and then a small percentage of those people will maybe tip you a little bit extra. But don't bother your customers. They don't need updates. They can see in the app that's updating them. They can see if they're having to wait longer. You don't need to text them and say, thank you very much for letting me serve you. Just leave them alone. They're hungry. They just want their food dropped off, and they can see enough in the app that 99.9% of the time, they're totally fine without the Dasher ever texting them. If there's something that you need to help you deliver the food and you need to contact them for that, then I think that's a perfect time to contact them. And along those lines, don't knock or ring the doorbell, don't ring the doorbell, don't knock on the door unless they specify that in the instructions. You'll even find some in the instructions that will say, please don't knock or ring, baby sleeping, that sort of thing. If you just apply that to everybody, that's totally fine, because once again, in the app, they're notified when their food gets delivered. They receive the picture when their food gets delivered. So no need to knock or ring, because
Ashley, look at me.
Also, don't worry about tips. The way DoorDash is doing things and hiding money and all that, don't worry about tips. Don't worry about hidden money. You have no control over that, and trying to do little things for your customers to get them to tip you more is almost never gonna work. I promise, it's just gonna be a much better experience if you just stick to real simple. You pick up the food and you deliver it. That's it. You don't need to knock ring. You don't need to try and earn an extra tip, and you don't need to worry about when you're trying to decide whether or not to take an offer, well, how much the tip might be, or how much money do I think they're hiding. DoorDash is playing so many games in that app now, it's just not worth it to try and do that. Dasher support can go both ways, and most of the time it's in the way of they're not helpful. Most of the time they've got 4 or 5 responses, they just copy and paste, and they don't even really read what you're saying. They're not interested in helping you. They're just trying to get you to end the chat as fast as possible. So don't expect a lot from DoorDash support. Most of the time they're not going to be very helpful, but there are a couple ways and situations where they can be extremely helpful. Go watch my video on how to get negative ratings removed, because they can do that. Some of them won't know that, and they'll tell you, oh no, that's not a thing we can do. Hang up, try again, hang up, try again, until you get one that goes, yeah, we can do that, and they just do it. The other thing that they can help you with is if you get to a restaurant and the restaurant's closed or something goes wrong, you do have the option of getting half pay. If you can't actually complete the delivery, but it's not your fault. One example from my dashing is there's a military base that I can't deliver to. And I learned that I could actually accept those offers. For a while, I learned by trying to go out there that it wasn't possible. So then I started rejecting them. But then I was like, oh wait, I can just accept them, and then I can go pick up the order, and then I can chat in and say, hey, I can't deliver to this place because it's a military base, but I still deserve half pay for having completed, half the order or whatever. And so I just learned that you can chat in a situation like that and still get half pay because you were spending your time and resources trying to complete that delivery, and it's not your fault that it's not getting delivered. All right, now let's talk about some ways to earn shekels not doing DoorDash. So like I said, it's just become quite a bit worse for several reasons that I already covered. And so I've been working on a different business, and it's been going really well, and I want to share it with you guys. So the first thing that I did in my dash time while I was sitting at home to earn extra money outside of DoorDash while I was on dash time was to start this YouTube channel. And if we look at my most banger tips video that's ever been dropped on the World Wide Web right here, you'll see that it's at, as I'm looking at it right now, 1.4 million views. And I'll show you what I've earned from this video. So it's been from 2022 to 2025, right around 3 years. And it's almost at $30,000 that I've earned from just that one video. And so the way that I earned money from that video from YouTube is just because YouTube runs ads on that video. And since I had 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time built up, then you can apply and you can get into the YouTube monetization program, and they start to pay you for running ads on your videos. So that's what that money is. But then if you look at my bag tour video, which I mentioned earlier, anytime anybody clicks the link and buys that bag, I get a little commission off of that. Now that's actually really, really tiny commission, and that's an Amazon commission. I'm gonna tell you more about Amazon in a second, because I'm actually an Amazon Platinum influencer. And then also we've all seen that people sell courses through their YouTube channel, people sell merch through their YouTube channel. Their YouTube has like memberships now, you can take donations like a Patreon. Like there's honestly a lot of different ways you can monetize a YouTube channel or create different streams of income by having a successful YouTube channel. And it doesn't have to be, not even close, does it have to be hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers. You can do it and you can make good money with a lot less than that if you just kind of build it the right kind of way. And you definitely don't have to create a YouTube channel just around DoorDash. You can be DoorDashing and on your downtime create a YouTube channel in any niche that you want. And I would definitely suggest doing it inside of a niche that you're familiar with, knowledgeable in, can really share some good advice, or maybe it's just entertainment and you can be really entertaining in that type of a niche. But really what you want to do is come onto YouTube, do a little bit of research, and figure out if the niche you're considering already has an audience, because you do want an audience to already be there, and then you want it to not be overly crowded. I'm gonna show you how you can look at a couple data points to figure that out. So what I did is I just literally, when I was thinking about creating a DoorDash YouTube channel, I looked at DoorDash tips for beginners. And if you look right here, I've got this little tag that shows up, it says powered by vidIQ. vidIQ is the tool, and it's free to get these little data points to pop up. So right here it says I have that the Best Dasher Alive channel has 24,000 subscribers, but the video has 1.4 million views. So what's that showing is, okay, there's this, it's a much smaller subscriber count than the view count, meaning that for some reason this channel, even though they don't have a lot of subscribers, is pulling way more views than their subscriber count, meaning there's a much bigger audience that this video can be surfaced to, well, that this video has been surfaced to. And so if you see that 1, 2, 3 times in just one simple search like DoorDash tips for beginners, then that's evidence to you that, okay, there's a big audience here, and with a small amount or even no subscribers, you're able to reach that audience. And so right here, you can see 60,000 subscribers, 146,000 views. So once again, that's another view count that far exceeds the subscriber count. And the subscriber count's not a crazy number like 1 million or 14 million. 60,000, yeah, that's a lot of subscribers, but again, that's not like 10 million subscribers. If I scroll down a little bit more, here's another one. You got 28,000 subscribers and 831,000 views. More evidence that there's this huge audience that you can access, that your video can get surfaced to, even if you have a small subscriber count. And if I come back here at the top and we look at mine, right now it says 24,000 subscribers, but when I made that video and that video first got its first thousands of views or tens of thousands of views, I don't know what my subscriber count was at, but not anywhere close to 20,000, so it was even way smaller back then. And here's another one. This one's 5.39 thousand subscribers, but pulling 16,000 views, and that's only 4 months ago, so there's a good chance this view count will continue to climb. So that's exactly what you're looking for, and you don't need to overcomplicate it any more than that. I promise, that's all that I did. Is once I saw that small subscriber counts were getting a bunch of views inside of DoorDash tips videos, I said, I've got a really good shot then at making a good DoorDash tips video and gaining some views, even though I had 0 subscribers to start. Now, if we look at this one right here, I threw in the search drop shipping tips, and you'll see that this is the opposite of what I just said is a good thing to see. We're seeing huge subscriber count with less views than the actual subscriber count. Scroll down a little bit, 185,000 subscribers, only getting 23,000 views. Scroll down a little bit, 1.34 million subscribers, only getting 100,000 views. Not that 100,000 views is not a lot of views, it is, but for 1.34 million subscribers, you would want to see more than that. So what this is showing is this is a crowded niche. There is high demand because there is a really high view count, but also the subscriber counts are really high as well. So it's just crowded. There's high demand, but there's also high competition. When we looked at this DoorDash tips for beginners, what we're seeing is high demand, lots of views, but low competition, not a lot of channels with millions of subscribers. We're seeing over and over again, small subscriber channels are getting a bunch of views. And this applies to any niche that there is. If you can jump on to YouTube, throw in some searches and see that there is high demand with low competition, that's a niche you can make some videos for and gain some traction. But here's the real sauce that I want to give you guys, which has been my main business for 2025. I started it just barely in 2024, like November, December, I kind of started it, but it was really Q1, January through March of this year, where I really went hard at it to see like if there was some real money there, and there was. And it's called the Amazon Influencer Program, and this is why I referred to myself as the most platinum influencer alive, because I am a platinum Amazon influencer. Sounds kind of silly, and frankly it kind of is, but also there's some good money in it, and it's a good business model, and it's kind of fun to do, and you can have a lot of flexibility with how you do it. So it's pretty cool, and I want to share it with you. Like I said in my bag tour video, or if you look in the description of this video, I'll link the new bag that I'm using, and that's an Amazon link. That's part of the Amazon affiliate program, which they don't use the word affiliate, they use the word associate. And it's a program anybody can sign up for. You sign up for it, and then it generates a link that's unique to you, and you can share that link all over the place. And if anybody clicks that link and buys, then you get a small commission based on what they purchased. Now, I'll be completely honest with you, my bag tour video, now it hasn't been, because that bag went out of stock, it hasn't been really making me any money. But when that video was getting a good amount of views and the bag was in stock and everything, at most, I was earning like 30 bucks a month. So the Amazon Associates program, affiliate program, you can definitely make money, but the commission rates are really, really small, like 1 to 3%. And you really have to be getting a lot of people clicking and buying in order for you to really make good money from that. So 30 bucks a month, that's a burrito a month, like 2 burritos a month. That's not really doing much. So that's not really that's not the sauce I'm dropping right here, but I'm just introducing you into Amazon and how their programs work. So that's the Amazon Associates program. And then a branch of that program, or inside of that program, is also the Amazon Influencer Program, which is different. Anybody can sign up and become an associate, but to become an Amazon influencer, to get into the Amazon Influencer Program, you have to apply to that program with a social media account. They look at your social media account and they decide whether or not they let you into the influencer program. Now, with that said, because I know some of you are like, oh, I don't have a big YouTube channel or whatever, doesn't matter. There's people getting into the Amazon Influencer Program with like 150 followers on TikTok. It's not so much about how many views you're getting or how many subscribers, and they don't tell you exactly what it is that they're looking for, but it seems to be that they're just looking for, it's a real person, they're posting consistently, and there is some real engagement, and there are some real followers on there. And you can apply as many times as you want to get into the Amazon Influencer Program. So if you have a little account, and it can be a TikTok account, Instagram account, YouTube, some sort of social media account, you can apply. If you get rejected, you can create some other little account and you can apply with that account, and you can just keep trying until you get in. Once you're in that program, once they've accepted you, not much has changed quite yet. The only thing that's really changed is now you have a storefront. I'll show you my storefront right here. You can see I'm a platinum influencer. I call it SCO Show for Sell Crap Online. It's the Sell Crap Online show. So that's kind of what we're doing here, is just selling just some of it's cool and like really like a good product, but some of it's just kind of dinky and random, but you can still make some good money from dinky, random, cheap plastic products on Amazon. When you first get accepted into the influencer program, nothing really changes as far as your commission structure goes. You still get your Amazon associate links, and if people click those links, you're still getting like 1 to 3% commissions. So it's really your job to get a bunch of people to click those links, which can be difficult to do. The only thing you really gain from getting accepted into the influencer program is now you have a storefront where it can show all the different products you've made videos or taken pictures of. But here's the real secret sauce. You want to get into what's called the on-site commissions program. And what that means is, if I show you right here on Amazon, if you look at any of these products and you click into their videos, and then you see these other videos that has this little thing right here that says earns commissions, people are uploading these videos, just regular people showing off the product, talking about it a little bit. And if customers watch that video and buy the product, then they get a commission for that video based off for a customer watching that video and buying the product. And this is called on-site commissions or on-site placement, because Amazon, it's not like me creating a link and putting it in my YouTube channel, and however many people I get to watch that video, some of them see the link, click the link, buy the product. Like, that's called, I have to generate my own traffic through that link. On-site placement is different because you're accessing Amazon's traffic, the customers that are already shopping there, already looking at the product every day, all day long. Your video now just pops up there, and anytime someone watches it and buys, then you get a commission off of that sale. And so instead of having to focus on how do I get more and more people to click the link that I put in my YouTube video, it's just a game of how many videos can I post that Amazon will place on the product pages, and then the traffic, all the customers that are already searching and buying, if they watch my video, now I get a commission. So really what you're doing is you're leveraging Amazon's traffic, which is #1 website in the world. There's a lot of traffic there. But then there's even more secret sauce on top of that, which is called the Creator Connections program. And all these products that you see right here are different brands, different companies that are selling these products on Amazon, and they're placing their products in here where Amazon influencers can look at them and decide if they want to promote these products, and to incentivize the influencers to promote the company's products. The companies are offering much higher commissions than Amazon offers. So you can see right here, it can be anywhere from 10% to even 50% commissions. 50% is really rare. Most of them are 10, 15%, 20% is pretty good. Anything above that starts to get quite rare. Most are like 10%, but that's way better than what Amazon offers, which is typically 1 to 3% commissions. So now inside of Creator Connections, you can make videos about the products in there, and you just join the campaigns, and now you're able to get 10, 20, 50% commissions depending on whatever the company is offering. And it gets even better than that, because like, oh, well, what if you don't have the product and you have to show the product in the video? So, well, what if you don't have the product, then you can't really promote? You're able to message the brands inside of Creator Connections, and you're able to just ask them to send you a free sample of the product so you can create a video for them. And then if you really get like good at that and better at that, you can actually get brands to start to pay you to make the videos. So this is really where the money is at, is inside of Creator Connections. A bit of a process to get there. You gotta apply to the influencer program with a social media account. Again, it doesn't have to be some crazy big account, just gotta be real and legit and have some real engagement. And then you need to apply to on-site placement, on-site commissions, and that's the toughest part of it. You gotta give them the 3 videos to review, and you need to pass within 3 tries. But once you're in there, then you've got access to Creator Connections, where you can reach out to brands, have them send you product, and you can get 10 to 50% commission on those products. And you don't have to do anything to drive the traffic. You just have to upload the video, and the customers that are already shopping on the product page, when they see your video and buy the product, you get that commission. And that's like really, really, really amazing and really slick, and it definitely works. You can definitely do it. And I want to share with you the tool, the software tool that really makes this like mind-blowingly easy. Because when I first did it, like I said at the beginning of the year, this tool didn't exist quite yet. And so I was doing it just in here, going campaign to campaign. Some of the campaigns can have like 150 different products in them. Sometimes it's just one product, but it just can be very time consuming to click and look and click and look and click and look, because it's kind of like the same thing I said with YouTube. You want to find high demand, low competition products. High demand meaning the product is selling a bunch of times on Amazon every single month, because that means there's a lot of customers searching for it and buying it on Amazon. So if your video just shows up in a spot where people are already buying a product a bunch, then you're definitely going to earn some commissions off of that. but it needs to be low competition, because if it's high competition, which means there's already a bunch of influencers that have already uploaded videos, say there's 100 influencers that already uploaded 100 videos, the chances of you showing up is quite slim. But if you find a product that's selling like 1,000 times every month, and there's only 1 or 2 other influencers that have made a video about it, say there's just 1 and you post yours, now there's 2. Well, the customer that's shopping only has 2 options, and it's a 50-50 chance that they're gonna watch your video and you're gonna get that commission. So once you have access to creator connections, then you just need to get really good at identifying products that sell a bunch every month, call that high demand, and that don't have a lot of videos made about them already, low competition. And that's where this tool right here called Viral View comes into play, because this is the tool that you're gonna need to use in order to figure out if the product is in high demand and how much competition there is. And so this software tool called Viral View has quite a few different features, all of them very helpful, but I'll just show you the couple main ones that really make this research process magical. So right here, if we click on filters, these are all the different categories that we can look through. So let's click home and kitchen, and you can see that there's 60,000 campaigns inside of the home and kitchen category. So to manually click into each one like this, and to scroll down and open the product and look at the product and try and decide if it's a good product is very time consuming, and you're just not gonna get all the data that you need to manually to figure out if it's a high demand or low competition product. So what you can do is click right here, open product view. So this tool inside of the Viral View software is called product view. And you see when I open it up, it pulls in all the products on the page, or at least some of them. See, it's pulling 2,950 right now. If I scroll down even more, then it'll pull in even more. Now, you don't want to scroll too much too fast, or Amazon will kind of put you on timeout for just doing too much too fast, but you can definitely scroll to load in some more products, come back here and click on open product view, and now you can see that there's 8,000 products. And then what you can do is you can use filters like this to go, I want to make sure that it's a product that's selling 1,000 times every month, and then total influencer videos right here. Let's say I want the maximum to be 3, so it's just not too crowded. So by putting 1,000 sales per month, that's our high demand, and then our total influencer videos, we want no more than 3, so that's our low competition. And instead of having to go and manually click through every single of those 80,000 or 8,000 products, you could just use these filters, and now it's narrowed it down to 13 different products that we can look at that meet our criteria. And so you can see right here, this Wi-Fi extender, 30-day revenue, every month it's making $120,000. It's making 3,000 sales, and there's only 3 influencer videos. So if I get this product and I make a video being that 4th influencer video, there's a really high chance I will definitely, out of these 3,000 sales, some of those people will watch my video and buy the product, and I will get that commission. And you can see right here, the commission on that is 10%. So here's this product. It's a $40 product. So every time if I upload a video about this product and someone watches it, my video and buys it, I would get a commission of $4 every time that happens. And so if you look at my storefront here, I'm well over 1,000 products. So I've got 1,000 plus different products working for me, doing exactly what I'm explaining right here. And I mainly try and pull and create videos for products out of creator connections so that my commissions aren't just 1 to 3%, but they're 10 to 50%, which is literally like the lowest commission. 10% is a 10x over what Amazon's paying you. So Amazon lots of times will only pay you like 1 or 1.3% on some stuff. And so just by finding stuff in creator connections, you've already 10x the amount of money you can make just on a 10% campaign commission. This one right here, here's a 20% commission, here's a 15%, and there's, like I said, they can go all the way up to 50, which is rare. Most of them are 10%, 15%, 20%, but man, is that so much better than Amazon's commission rates. And so this Viral View software, this is why it's so magical, is because you can see all in one little data table, thousands of different products, and you can narrow it down to the exact criteria that you want, which is a bunch of money every month, a bunch of sales every month, and not a lot of videos, so that when you upload that video, those customers will definitely be seeing yours, and it's not getting lost in a sea of 100 other influencers' videos. And then also, to even save even more time, over here you've got this message box. And so if you click these boxes, and you can create a little template so you don't have to type out the message every time, and your message can just say, you know, hey, I'm an influencer, I'll make a video for you in exchange for you sending me the product. And you can just click these boxes, and right here click send messages, and it'll just automatically send the messages out to these brands for you, and they'll respond back, say yes or no, please provide your address, and then they'll send you the product. So with that said, I've introed you, I've given you some super sauce, and I've shown you the best tool that you can use to find products with high demand and low competition, and I will link it in the description of this video with a code BDA10. If you use that code, you'll get 10% off for lifetime if you buy the software program. And I forgot to mention, but you don't even have to show your face in the videos if you don't want to. Sometimes it's kind of good to, but there's some products where it's just not even like, the product needs so much detail and attention and explanation and showcasing the product that it's not even worth it for someone's face to be in there. So your face doesn't have to be in there. Sometimes it's good to, but you can be a completely faceless influencer making a bunch of money just by finding high demand, low competition products and making quick videos about them. 30-second videos, a minute 30-second videos, really easy, not a bunch of editing that has to go into it. And just like with DoorDash, you want to get to the platinum level as fast as possible and stay there, because you do truly get some good perks here in the influencer program. In DoorDash, you don't really get perks, you just don't get as much of the trickery and deception and garbage orders. When you get into the platinum program for Amazon Influencer, you actually get some pretty big perks, like you can see right here. You get early access, which in my opinion is the main perk that you get. But also brands seeing that you're a platinum influencer is also beneficial, because then they just know you're legit. If they see that and they see you've got a bunch of products in your store and your videos are good at explaining products and that sort of a thing, then that's a really good thing to be showing brands. So that's why I say I'm the most platinum influencer alive, is because I'm a platinum Amazon influencer. As the BDA does, we drop some seriously dank tips for how to earn more shekels.